Have you ever wondered why some people, starting with nothing, end up building empires that change the world? Today I'll share with you the story of a poor carpenter who built chairs so simple yet so meaningful that he changed his village. And then we'll connect this parable to the real-life story of Ingvar Kamprad, the man who founded IKEA and turned simplicity into one of the greatest business empires on earth. Stay with me until the end, because the lesson hidden here could transform the way you see your own life. In a small village surrounded by forests, there lived a young carpenter named Elias. He wasn't wealthy, he didn't own a big workshop, and he didn't have fancy tools. All he had was a small wooden shed, a rusty saw, and his hands, hardened by work. Every day, Elias worked tirelessly for the villagers. He repaired broken tables, fixed doors, and mended windows. But he always earned just enough to survive. At night, he would sit by the fire, wondering, why do I work so hard, yet remain poor? One cold winter, Elias noticed something. Many villagers sat on the ground around their fires because they couldn't afford heavy, expensive furniture. The wealthy merchants had grand chairs carved with designs of lions and flowers, but ordinary families had none. Elias thought, why not build chairs that anyone can afford? Not fancy, not heavyish, simple, useful chairs that every home can have. So he began his experiment. With a few planks of wood Elias built a plain chair. No carvings, no polish, just a strong seat, 4 legs, and a simple back. The first villager who saw it laughed. This looks so plain. Where are the decorations? Who will want such a chair? But another villager, an old woman, touched the chair and smiled. It may be plain, but it's light. I can carry it myself. And it's strong enough for me to sit comfortably. I'll buy it. Elias sold his first chair for a single coin. Encouraged, he made more. Children began using them for their studies. Farmers rested on them after long days in the fields. Slowly, Elias's chair spread through the village. Something magical happened. Instead of struggling to survive, Elias started earning enough to dream bigger, but not everyone was pleased. The wealthy merchants mocked him. You are ruining the trade. Furniture must be a luxury, not something everyone can afford. Who will buy our grand chairs now? Elias calmly replied, I don't build for the rich. I build for the many. Years passed, and Elias's chairs traveled from one village to the next. His reputation grew not as a master of luxury, but as a man who made life easier for ordinary people. And one day, as he looked around at dozens of families sitting together comfortably on his simple chairs, Elias whispered, simplicity is not weakness. Simplicity is power. The poor carpenter's discovery was profound. People didn't need perfection. They needed solutions. The world didn't need more luxury, it needed accessibility. And that belief turned his life around. Now, this might sound like just a parable, but history has shown us that those who understand this truth, the power of simplicity, can rise from nothing to build legacies that last for generations. One man who lived this truth more than anyone else was Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA. Ingvar Kamprad was born in 1926 in a small Swedish village. His family wasn't rich. In fact, Ingvar grew up on a farm where money was always tight. But from a very young age, he had a spark and instinct for business. At just 5 years old, he began selling matches to his neighbors. Why matches? Because he realized he could buy them cheaply in bulk, then sell them individually for a profit. Soon he moved on to selling fish, Christmas cards, and even pencils. But Ingvar's greatest idea came when he realized something about furniture. Just like in Elias's story, he saw that beautiful, handcrafted furniture was too expensive for ordinary families. Only the rich could afford heavy oak tables and fancy carved chairs. Ordinary people were left out. So Ingvar asked a bold question. What if furniture could be simple, affordable, and easy for everyone? In 1943, at just 17 years old, he founded IKEA. At first, he sold small household items, pens, wallets, frames. But by the 1950s, he turned fully to furniture. Here's where his genius showed. Ingvar introduced flat-pack furniture. Instead of selling a bulky chair that was costly to transport, He sold pieces that customers could assemble themselves. This single idea born from simplicity changed everything. People laughed at first. Who would buy furniture they have to build themselves? But Ingvar understood human psychology. People loved the lower price, and many even enjoyed the process of building something with their own hands. Soon, IKEA grew across Sweden, then Europe, and eventually, the world. By focusing on simplicity, affordability, and function over luxury. Kamprad turned his small idea into a global empire. At the time of his death in 2018, Ingvar Kamprad's net worth was estimated at more than $58 billion. But more important than the money was his legacy. Millions of homes around the world filled with IKEA furniture. Proof that simplicity could touch every life. So what do Elias, the poor carpenter, and Ingvar Kamprad, the billionaire founder of IKEA, teach us? They show us that greatness doesn't always come from luxury, brilliance, or perfection. Sometimes it comes from simplicity, from seeing what ordinary people need and creating solutions that work. Simplicity is not about doing less. It's about doing what truly matters. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think today's world still values simplicity? Or have we become too obsessed with complexity and luxury? Drop your thoughts in the comments side. Love to read them. And if you found inspiration in this story, don't forget to subscribe. Because every week, I'll bring you more powerful stories blending timeless parables with real-world icons.